Hello everyone, Toxie here, and today we're going to be talking about DDD Season 2 Animon Division, my team, the Obstagooners. It's a pretty funny team. We got some pretty funny Pokemon here. I'm going to try not to say a lot because I don't want to edit this video, besides adding funny music like this. Yeah, so I'm not gonna be editing this too much. Hopefully I won't be editing this video too much because I tried to do it with the other takes of this video and I really don't want to do it. Anyway, for our first pick, I traded Enamorous Therian for this Pokemon. Honestly, probably one of my favorite Megas. Mega Pinsir. His nickname is Vultures. Shout out to Kanye. He is horrendously evil with Aerialate Extreme Speed. That was his buff. He got Extreme Speed. By the way, Animon Division is a division where Pokemon got new moves and abilities in order to compensate for their weak power or whatever it may be, or just to make them cooler or make them interesting, whatever. Give them some spice. Unfortunately, Mega Pinsir is very weak to Stealth Rocks, and he was 23 points, so not only are we poor, but we're Hazard weak too, so we gotta fix that on this team. So next up, we have Iron Treads. Iron Treads, his nickname is Till the Wheels Fall Off, but the stupid character limit makes it so that it's not Till the Wheels Fall Off, it's just Till the Wheels, so it doesn't really make that much sense. But anyway, his name is Till the Wheels, and Till the Wheels got buffs in Spikes, Volt Tackle, and Magnet Rise, and the Rebound ability, which is a Capmon ability, or a Cap ability, which makes it so that on entry, or like on the turn you switch in, hazards are bounced back to the opponent, which are really nice. It really threatens hazards when this Pokemon is on the field, or, well, not on the field. And he's going to be Vulture's best friend. He will remove and bounce rocks. He has 15 points, which is, you know, very solid and respectable. So yeah, that is the Hyper Nose Iron Treads. Next up, we have Toxapex, nicknamed Toxie, which is me, and his buffs consist of Mortal Spin, Flip Turn, and Corrosion. Now, if you don't know how big Flip Turn and Mortal Spin are, allowing Toxapex to be a remover, allowing it to get momentum, and allowing it to just be annoying with Corrosion, it's just an insane Pokemon. This thing is just kind of crazy, not gonna lie. 15 points, Devious, Stall, Regen Pivot. Toxapex is really, really good. Very excited to use it. Flip Turn for momentum is just, you know, super broken. It also allows it to use AV. AV, Mortal Spin, Flip Turn is very viable with, like, Infestation, because Mortal Spin is also 100% poison chance. So, very useful Pokemon. Very good here, honestly. Very excited to use it. Next up is our namesake Obstagoon, nicknamed r/Goon Caves. Don't ask me why it's named that. My friend Jazz named it, so don't ask me. Anyway, buffs. For buffs, he got Sucker Punch, Extreme Speed, Earthquake, Trailblaze, and the ability Tough Claws. Now, unfortunately, he does not have Sword Stance. I thought he had Sword Stance, but he does not. He only has Bulk Up, which is fine, but no Sword Stance is kind of a big blow to this Pokemon. I thought it would be way stronger with Sword Stance, but anyway, raw goon power. With Guts, he hits extremely hard with Knockoff, Facade, Extreme Speed, EQ, whatever have you. The priority moves that are given to Obstagoon here give him so much merit because of his signature move, Obstruct. Obstruct is a protect-based move where if you make contact with, you know, Obstagoon on the protect turn, it drops your defense, your physical defense, by 2 stages, which is really, really good because it allows Obstagoon to break things or confirm kills on things that it normally can't. So, and it also induces some kind of mind games, right? Because you want to set up or you want to do this and that, but you're still threatened by, you know, the strong priority of Obstagoon. So, yeah. Unfortunately, he is still kind of weak even with Guts. As you can see, this Calc versus Registeel. 14 points is respectable. Not bad for this Pokemon. Very excited to use it. Next up is Mesprit. Mesprit is nicknamed Vending Machine here, and the only buffs that Mesprit got are Strength Sap and Magic Bounce. It's just a nice glue Pokemon for the team, as Magic Bounce, you know, allows it to bounce hazards, status, whatever have you. It's just very useful overall. It also, having a Magic Bounce Pokemon and Rebound, I guess, make it so that it threatens your opponent to not click hazards. Like, even if they bring them, there's always the threat of being able to bounce them back, right? So it's very nice glue for the team. Strength Sap is also huge because it bolsters basically every set Mesprit could possibly have: offensive, defensive, whatever have you, utility, screens, whatever it makes sense. Mesprit has great utility in hazards. By hazards, I just mean rocks, healing wish, status, etc. It's just great. Not much to say though. This Pokemon is kind of boring. He is 12 points, which is really nice. Yeah, so that's Mesprit. Next up is Appleton. Appleton is nicknamed Fat Pastry here. Buffs include Overheat, Flower Trick, and Trick Room. The abilities Contrary and Well-Baked Body. Contrary is very funny in Trick Room because this thing gets Trick Room now, so it can run Contrary with 3 attacks: Draco, Overheat, and Leaf Storm. It can be really, really funny that way. It's also very evil and bulky. It's not very bulky, but it is bulky enough. And this is our first Terra Captain here. It's 9 points because this league uses a Terra attack system, which I'm not really personally a fan of. But Appleton, I figured, was worth it for the 9 points, and very strong overall, because I think Well-Baked Body is what we really need for this team right now, because we have Iron Shreds and Pinsir that are weak to fire, and having Well-Baked Body on Appleton just makes it so much better. And yeah, very strong Pokemon here in Appleton. Really excited to use this guy. Next up is Rabombi, named Bombiclot.
Me bomba!
And the buffs for Rabombi include Glitzy Glow, which is a Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee move, Floor Cannon, Aeroblast, and Soul Heart. Basically, Rabombi's just here to artificially boost our speed tiers and be a web setter to just threaten the other team with webs, I guess, for Obstagoon and I guess for like offensive Iron Shreds or what have you. It's 8 points. It's pretty good. I would say it's pretty solid. It can also be very offensive with Floor Cannon and Quiver Dance and Aeroblast and what have you, and Soul Heart. Very, very good Pokemon, honestly. I think it's very valuable here, and I think it will perform pretty well throughout the season. Next up is Manectric, nicknamed Fake Gerbolta. I'm probably going to change that name soon. But anyway, for the buffs, he got Outrage, Vacuum Wave, Flash Cannon, Night Daze, and the ability Electric Surge. Electric Surge is huge. This Pokemon is only 4 points, and honestly, it's such a great Pokemon. I think this is so good for its value. The speed tier is nice, 105. We already have a 105 in Mega Pinsir, but realistically, Mega Pinsir doesn't really need its speed. It's always clicking E-speed anyway. With Manectric, he has Rising Voltage with Electric Surge, so it can be very powerful with Electric Surge and Rising Voltage. I think it is very good, honestly. Very excited to use this Pokemon. Obviously, he got some extra coverage here in Vacuum Wave, Flash Cannon, and Night Daze. Outrage isn't really that valid. Unfortunately, I could not make this Pokemon my Terra Captain. Honestly, this being my Terra Captain would have gone really crazy the more that I think about it, but unfortunately cannot use him to be my Terra Captain, even if he got Terra Blast in the buffs. I forgot to mention this, but Iron Shreds, Obstagoon, and Appleton, and all the Gen 8 Pokemon and Gen 9 Pokemon you'll see throughout the rest of my team all got Toxic, Terra Blast, and Hidden Power. But Hidden Power is banned anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, next up on the team is Urshifu Rapid Strike. Now you may be wondering, how did I get Urshifu Rapid Strike 10 picks in? And honestly, I don't really know. I just did. Anyway, his nickname is going to be Freddy Five Bears.
A single woman has given birth to a child.
At least they didn't give birth to Freddy Fazbear, because if you give birth to Freddy Fazbears, he comes out and he says,
And his buffs consist of Jet Punch, that's all he got, and Toxic, and Hidden Power, and Terra Blast, but none of those are usable, except for Toxic. But anyway, Jet Punch is really huge. I don't know why they gave this Jet Punch. It definitely did not need Jet Punch, but he got it anyway, so yeah. And I needed a fighting type, and this and Manectric were the two Pokemon that I was struggling the most with deciding on whether or not I wanted it on my team, because I needed a fighting type, I needed a ghost type, I needed an electric type, I needed, you know, all these other things. I needed flying resist, I needed everything, I needed all these different things, but I ended up settling on Urshifu and Manectric for these roles, and I think these will prove to fare very well on my team. Next up is Braixen. This is our last Terra Cap. There are only 2 Terra Caps that are allowed. I really wish there were 3 because I would have had some great choices, but we have Braixen here, nicknamed Sly Fox. Might change the nickname at some point, but her buffs consist of Mind Blown, Psy Strike, Power Gem, and the ability Magic Guard. I forgot to put a plus sign here, but it is a goated Terra Captain. I think with Mind Blown, Terra Fire, it does insane amounts of damage. With Rabombi's webs, it threatens a lot of teams. very excited to use this Breaksin, even though it's just kind of, it's a Breaksin, but it's our only fire type, which is kind of weird. I know it is a little weird, but trust me when I say this is a good Pokemon. It'll fare well. Anyway, next up for one of our last picks is not Toxapex, Dartrix, nicknamed Dr. Zomboss. I don't know why he's nicknamed that. I don't know. I felt like it. For his buffs, they consist of Grab Apple, Tidy Up, and Fur Coat. It is actually a ridiculous defensive physical wall. If you look at this calc, 252 plus attack, Mamoswine, Icicle Crash, 252, Eviolite, Fur Coat, Dartrix, it only does 60%. That is insane. That is a stab, max attack, Mamoswine. Not Choice Band, not Nevermelt Ice, but the fact that it even needs those things to do more damage and not just OHKO it outright is ridiculous. This Pokemon might be one of the best physical walls ever. It's really insane. And with Tidy Up, it allows it to have reliable removal and Grab Apple, which lowers the defense of the Pokemon in front of it. So Tidy Up, Grab Apple, it allows it to have some offensive merit alongside its defensive utility with Roost, Defog, Haze, U-Turn, whatever, Dartrix is very, very good here. Honestly, I think it's insane. I think it's really, really good. I think for 1 point, this Pokemon is ridiculous. I think it is way more than that. Honestly, maybe at some point in the season, I will end up switching it up, and Dartrix will be my Terra Captain over Appleton or over Breaksin. I don't know, but as of right now, Dartrix is just a normal Pokemon on our team. Because honestly, as you can tell from this calc, he doesn't even need Terra. So yeah, very excited to use Dartrix here. Will be absolutely insane throughout this league. For our last pick, it was just kind of a nothing pick, which was Galarian Yamask. His name is his name is Gravebum. His buffs consist of Shore Up, Parting Shot, and the ability Unaware. Not really huge, but he's here for the ride. He was 1 point. By the way, Dartrix and Breaksin were both 1 point. I think for the value, Dartrix and Breaksin are clearly better than Yamask here. Sorry, Yamask, but clearly they are way better for the value. Sorry, I said Anyway, yeah. So Yamask is just kind of here, and that concludes the team of the Obstagooners. As you can see, we have Mega Pinsir, Iron Treads, Toxapex, Obstagoon, Mesprit, Appleton, Rabombi, Manectric, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Breaksin, Dartrix, and Yamask, Galarian Yamask. Very solid squad, honestly. I think this is a pretty good team. I think one thing that we'll struggle with is having really strong special attackers. I think between Mesprit, Appleton, Rabombi, Manectric, and Breaksin, I think we'll have enough special offense, but I think overall we are definitely lacking in that department. We are also, kind of boned by flying type attackers. Iron Treads and Manectric are not really reliable enough flying resist. We do have Appleton, which is Terra, so it helps out a little bit more. But yeah, I think those are some of the biggest weaknesses of this team. I think overall the type chart on my team is pretty alright, but it is a little lacking. I do wish I had a better ghost type to block rapid spins, but other than that, very happy with this team, really excited to use it, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully we win our first week against my traded Enamorous Therian.